Get him, get him.
Oh my God!
Calm down. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here.
Oh, yeah, dude!
Dude.
6 pounds, 11 ounces. Oh, 2 points.
Oh my. Limp. That's what I've been waiting for all day.
That's over 6.
True. And that one's.
Oh, here he goes.
Go. Good?
That's a big fish.
Full hand on tail. Yeah, it looks sick. Good to go.
Look how broad that thing is.
I wonder if that was the one that followed me in.
Beautiful. Oh my God. Holy sh! God. What a beast.
Oh, wow. That might be a 4. That might be a 4.
Yeah, it's a 4. You guys show that off too. 4 pounds, 12 ounces. Holy.
Another good one.
Holy sh! What the? Is that another 6?
Could be.
It's the second giant of the day, proving that point. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yes!
Big baits, big fish. There we go. 5 pounds, 6 ounces. Beauty! Dude, I'm not even joking. It happened again.
You kidding me?
Nope.
Is it big?
Oh! That's strong.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
That's a fat fish, dude.
4.
Holy. Dude. Holy hell, that's long.
Yeah, it is.
5, 4, 6. What?
Yeah. Just rock.
Got him. Get in here, you. There's another 6. You. That's a big fish.
6'10".
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Big old fatty.
Oh, I was ready this time. I usually am a little late to the draw and make sure mics are on, everybody's in right at the end of the intro, but I got it right this time. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome back. And welcome back, Tim, joining us yet again after his long weekend away, well, week plus away down in Oklahoma for the Bassmaster Classic. How you doing, buddy?
It was a full week.
Like a full week.
Like a full week. We started pre-practicing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we didn't get back on the water till Wednesday, and then the tournament started Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
How early were you down there before it all started?
I showed up the day before pre-practice, official pre-practice. I did the unofficial pre-practice back in December.
Yep.
And absolutely crushed them. And then it was way different this time around, obviously, as I was working the expo on Sunday instead of fishing. But it was the greatest bass tournament I've ever been a part of.
That's awesome, man.
Hands down.
All right. Before we get too far into it, I do want to say for everybody that's already here, thank you all very much. As always, greatly appreciate it. A ton of you guys shared the hell out of this, not just my post, but Tim's post and repost and everything. So for anybody that's doing that, greatly appreciate you. It's helping immensely. While you're here, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, either way, leave a like, please. It helps immensely. Anybody watching it after the fact, leave a comment, just share it, whatever. All of that stuff, like, seriously, I mentioned it last week. I'll mention it again. Since I've started asking for that on a regular basis for all of what takes me 30 seconds to make that request, our growth has gone up like 25, 30% on average, which is friggin' awesome. And it's just from you guys doing that. Like, that's literally all that's changed. And if anything, the fact that the growth has still been going up and the fact that I haven't posted pretty much anything in like a month because I can't get it doesn't matter. Appreciate you guys. I greatly appreciate you guys for everybody that does that. So thank you very, very much. Hook and Bass up north said got some mic interference. If I had to take a guess, it's probably the feedback of us coming through Tim's speakers into his microphone. That's going to be my guess.
Let's fix that.
Is that better?
Hold on. We're looking for something to put
Find a cup.
A cup? Yeah. Drink. Hold on. We're going to find something.
He's going to figure it out. No, this is good. See, this is why we kind of do that initial conversation so that we can make sure all the audio is good before we really get into it. Because nothing worse than learning the hard way in the past.
Is that better?
As far as I can tell thus far, yes. I cannot hear that audio coming back through ugly.
All right.
What is... Yeah, no, we're good. Okay, sorry. I got multiple texts coming in from people that are, like, especially my wife. She's like, this is... I was like, okay, we got it. We're good. Okay, yep, all right, we're good. So, weekend fishing report. We didn't go fishing this last weekend. Instead, my wife and I spent 7 hours cleaning the basement. Uh-oh, we're still getting a little feedback from you. Well, let me ask, how are you doing this? With your phone?
Yeah, on my phone.
Huh.
It's
That's usually never a problem.
on a hard surface, though.
That might be it.
I just changed the angle. Do we have feedback now?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's worse. All right, while he figures out for a second. We did the New England Fishing Expo. We had a ton of stuff, obviously, not only for ourselves, for Reel Nothern Bass, but also Big Bass Dreams and Defiant. Then all the BBD and Defiant stuff went with some of the other team members out to a show in New York, and then all that stuff found its way back to my house for storage until the next show. And it was in a metric ton of boxes. So my wife and I are like, I was like, we need to do this, but I need your help, please, because she's the master organizer. And we got it all sorted. And I would say, as a third-party, non-biased opinion, I think we did a pretty good job.
I think you did a damn good job.
Thanks.
He sent me pictures of it, and I was like, oh, my goodness. Yeah, no, you did great.
Tim, you can turn down
What you
your
eating?
volume a little bit. Yeah, Joe, what are you eating? There he is.
Am I hitting there? All right. How's there he is. He's there. He's there. Is that better?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, I'm not hearing myself come back through, and really, it's only gonna be me that's the issue. So I think we're good now.
All right. We put some coasters underneath the hard surface. We are good to go now.
Perfect. I like it.
Koozies.
All right.
Sorry, koozies.
Enough about us. Now it's time for you. So you had the Bassmaster Classic this weekend down on Grand Lake in Oklahoma. Let's hear it from start to finish. Let's and back it all the way up, because you know me, I'm a whore for information and just everything. Like for myself, I'm not happy enough with just kind of hearing how the whole thing went. I want to hear it from the perspective for how I would do it. I'm going back to the very, very beginning of where everything started. So let's start with that. All the way back in December when you went out there.
All right. So I went back in December and I looked up the lake and I was like, all right, probably 4 or 5 days is what I would need. And I knew that what they were on is not what they were going to be on. So instead of really fishing and trying to catch bass, I just drove around. And I side scanned, idled around. I went to every single creek arm, every single river. I went up where Edwin Evers won just to go look at it, and it's crystal clear and beautiful up there. And I went up the Neosho River, which is all mud, and I did all of it in December because I wanted to know where I could run, where I couldn't run, everything about the lake, pretty much. I wanted to feel comfortable going back. And I was rewarding myself during pre-practice. So every 45 minutes of side scanning, I would fish for 15.
Okay.
And then I would go back to side scanning. And all I was looking for was rocks that maybe stuck out a little bit further. I was putting a bunch of waypoints down, like stump on bank behind dock with blue roof. Like I was doing a bunch of that stuff. Just stuff to really go back and double check on. And I did all of that, and I did the entire lake in 4 days, and I was down there for 5. So
holy crap.
Grand Lake is known as the best pattern lake in the country. That's what everyone says. It's the best pattern lake in the country. You figure out one pattern on the lake, you can run it all over the lake. And during pre-practice, I figured out one little deal. That if, the rock stuck out off the bank 4 feet further on side scan, you could go back and you could throw, a 3XD over it, just a small little crankbait, and you'd catch one every time.
Nice. Okay.
And so the last day I was there, I'd done the whole lake. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go bass fishing today. I'm gonna go lean on them. And I caught like 22, 23 pounds, like very, very easily, in multiple 20-pound bags in that same stretch of like, they were just biting, and it was awesome. And that was on the last day of pre-practice back in December.
Yep.
So I'm like, all right, well, this is all going to change, but good to know they live here. And obviously, hadn't been back in 3 months. I show up on Thursday, and the wind is blowing 40 miles an hour.
Oof.
There was a rotating supercell that just ripped through, which is what causes tornadoes.
Yep.
We were under tornado watch, not tornado warning, when I was driving into town, and I called Dan Tavilla when I was driving down, and I'm like, hey, this storm on my left-hand side looks nasty. What's going on? Because he's a weatherman and meteorologist, sorry. He's like, yeah, as long as you get to your motel at 3:35, you're good.
And what was your, at the time, ETA to be there?
3:27.
Oh.
I'm like, all right. See what this Toyota Tundra can do.
Use every last one of them horses.
Oh, a Tundra can outrun everything but a gas station.
Damn right.
And I roll in, and then it wasn't 3 minutes later. Sideways rain, hail, all the awesome Oklahoma weather that's down there. And Oklahoma is a lot like Lake Champlain. You don't even look at the weather because you already know the wind's going to blow.
Oh, yeah.
Like every single day, the wind just blows there. And so I got there Thursday. I was already all rigged up, so I didn't do anything. And stayed at John Stewart, the old Bass Nation tournament director's, his new lodge, which is just set up for bass fishermen. It has big overhangs that you can pull the boat under. It has LED lights above you. So like if you wanted to rig at midnight, you could rig at midnight. Just a real awesome place. And then I went out Friday for the first day of official pre-practice. So official pre-practice is different than official practice. You're allowed to be on the water a half hour before sunrise, and you have to get off the water a half hour after sunset.
It's like hunting hours.
It is hunting hours. And so that was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 3 long days. And the first day I was there, obviously, I'm going back to the juice right away.
Yep.
It was
Obviously.
not juicy.
No. How much did the water temp change from when you were there in December to this past weekend?
It went up 7 degrees, 8 degrees. It was 52, 55 when we were during the tournament. The water color changed a lot, though.
Ah.
So if you took out of Wolf Creek and you banged the left, went under the bridge, and then there's this big, huge marina called Shangri-La. And when you went around that corner, your visibility in the water went from like 5 inches visibility to like 1.5 feet visibility.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
So I kept running from there 17 miles downriver because it's even cleaner down there. And, that made me feel good. Being able to, see the head of the trolling, the bottom of the trolling motor when I look down. Because up the other end, you dropped your trolling motor and all you saw was the shaft entering the water, and that was it.
Jesus.
Whoa.
So it was muddy. And I went to all the good spots that I had. None of it panned out. And I'm like, perfect. I'll start from scratch. Well, I know I like clean water. I like cold water. very familiar with both.
Yep.
The warmest water was up the river, so I'm going to the coldest water. So I ran all the way down by the dam, and day one of practice, I probably had, 12, 13 pounds, caught 6 or 7 keepers. Keepers are 14 inches or better. And that was really it the entire day. So we were launching, I think it was 7:15. We were allowed to take off and put the boat back on the trailer at 7:30. And I had like 13 pounds. I'm like, well, that's not great.
Yep.
Day 2 rolls around. I'm like, well, I'm going to go check out a whole bunch of other stuff. And Grand Lake is full of boat docks and $1 million homes, and it's a very nice area.
It's grand.
It's a grand time, let me tell you. And I run up a couple other creeks and do some all sorts of fun stuff, and I didn't get a bite till 4 o'clock.
Oh,
That's not grand.
That's not grand.
damn you and your puns.
Not great. And so this is day 2 of practice. So we have one more day after that. And from like 4:30 to 7, I catch 18 and a half.
Okay. So you're at least heading in the right direction,
but-
just not the right time of the day.
But that's after the tournament ends.
Oh, we're already in Tulsa by the time I start catching them, which is 90 miles.
Yeah, dude, your dad was telling me, so I didn't know that. And when he came by to pick up some stuff, he was telling me, he was like, yeah, did you know he's got to drive like 90 miles from the lake to the arena? I was like, pardon?
Yeah.
But I heard you had a little chauffeur for the weekend, though. Make
I
life
did.
easier on you.
I had 2 chauffeurs. They're actually the official pass said caddy. So I had 2 caddies the whole week. I had Kevin Miller and Joe Burchell. Both of them drove me to and back from the ramp each day, which was a huge relief on my side.
Yeah.
Just, getting off the water, just having to sit in the passenger seat and not have to think about anything.
No, you just kick back and relax, eyes closed, even if you don't nap, just to.
Oh, no, you're way too jacked up to nap.
No. But even just being able to sit back, eyes closed for a few minutes is extremely rejuvenating after a couple of long days.
Absolutely.
Anyway, continue.
So, day 3 of practice, and I'm like, all right, well, that must be a deal. I just caught 18 pounds off of it. And I was fishing very steep bank, hard drops, rock. Grand Lake fish hate wood. I don't know why.
Interesting.
They hate
Okay.
wood. They're not fans of it. Like in New Hampshire, they'd be all over it.
Yep.
Not at Grand Lake. Not Grand. And they like rocks there and boat
That
docks.
kind of lake.
So
That's not rock.
day 2, I roll through and I'm like, day 3, I'm sorry. I'm like, well, I just caught meat and taters off of this real steep bank. I was like, let's try that all day tomorrow. So from the 7 to 3 hours of the tournament, I would have had 1 bass.
Oof.
And then at 5 o'clock this time to 7 o'clock, I would have weighed 20 and a half.
Huh.
And
Okay.
I could never figure it out. The timing deal.
I wonder if it was a lighting condition kind of deal. It's kind of like chasing crappie in the winter, where they tend to really turn on, like right at that, like he was one that taught me this, so I can't take credit for this.
The magic hour?
Yeah, that magic hour, right when the light just starts, like as soon as that sun just dips right below the horizon, all of a sudden it's like flicking a switch and they turn on. I'm wondering if it's the same deal out there, if it was lighting.
And it could have been, but you have these boat docks, and the end of the boat docks are in 35 feet of water, 40 feet of water, and then they have walkways going up to the bank. And you throw a foot off the bank, you're in 2 feet. You throw 2 feet off the bank, you're in 5 feet. Like, it's cliffy.
I like
That
that.
sounds like merry meeting.
Very, very much so.
Okay.
And so, but except you can't see the bottom.
Yeah.
And so I was catching them, pitching them. They like to sit in the shadow of the walkway behind the boathouse.
Interesting. All right.
That's how I was catching them. And the only problem with that is both sides of the boathouse has like 4 cables going like this.
Yep.
So you have to pitch your line. Oh man, this is mess. You have to pitch your line either over or under, depending on the angle, to get into that shadow.
Damn.
Wonderful.
And then like we're talking like steel cable, and it's like that thick.
Yeah.
The stuff that just chews up fluorocarbon. And so I found a stretch in the afternoon on the last day that I smoked them. So I'm like, they probably won't bite during tournament hours. They didn't bite during tournament hours today or yesterday or day before that or day before that.
Yep.
So that's Sunday. So Sunday wraps up. I've been sitting at the lake the whole time. Monday morning, we move. I go to Tulsa because Bass has the boatyard, which is all a fenced-in parking lot that has power everywhere, security, cops, like super cool. And then
That's
the
awesome.
hotel we're staying at that Bass put us up in is a 1.5 blocks away.
Nice.
So driving to Tulsa, it was like you see all the billboards on the side of the highway, like Bassmaster Classic, March 22nd, 24th, Bassmaster Classic, Bassmaster Classic, Bassmaster Classic. We just passed 15 of them. And driving to Tulsa, I'm like, man, like I'm fishing the Bassmaster Classic. This is awesome.
Hey, that's
Like,
me. That's for me
like-
again. That one is too.
Like before that, it was just you're just practicing for a tournament. You know, nothing happening. You're just practicing for a tournament. It's it is what it is. And then you get there and you're like, all right, well, I'm in the boatyard now, and Hunter Schryrock's on my right, Jay Shakirat's on my left, and everybody else is there. And then you walk up to the hotel room, you get into the hotel, you check in. They put us up at the Hyatt, which is a great hotel. Big fan down there. And we went down to the hotel bar. This is Sunday because we don't fish Monday. We don't fish Tuesday. So 2 days of nothing.
Yep.
And then you have an official practice day, which is a dry run of the tournament, 7 to 3 on Wednesday, followed by Night of Champions. So the first 2 nights we're there, you don't have to wake up early. So you walk down to the bar and you're like, wow, these are all my childhood heroes sitting at this bar. It was just it was a lot of fun just hanging out, just hanging out.
Yep. Were you hanging? Sorry. Were you hanging out with anyone? I don't know. Did you find like kind of just a core group of guys you were with like the whole time you were down there, or especially the last couple of days leading up to the tournament? Or are you like, fuck this, I'm taking the opportunity. I'm going to go mingle with some of these guys. I just want to say hi.
I networked throughout the whole week. But I traveled with Will Davis and Mark Menendez, and Mark didn't make it to the Classic, so it was Will and I, and then hung out with Pat Schlapper, Bob Downey, because they were at the hotel we were staying at before we went to Tulsa, and great guys, and it was cool. And we went to Tulsa, and everybody's at the bar.
Yep.
We're bass fishing. That's what we do. We catch bass. We like beer. We like hanging out, talking fishing, and that's all it was. This is the whole time. The first 2 days, especially.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. Don't recommend it
experience.
whatsoever.
Never do it again. It sucked, man. I got put up in a hotel for free. I had to go fishing all week and drink at night. My heroes, terrible. 0 out of 10. Would not recommend.
I don't want to do that.
No, I certainly wouldn't.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with what you're doing.
No, horrible.
You know, I think I'll stick to my cubicle life. Thank you very much, Tim.
I'll stick to working on your boat.
So that was like the first 2 days, Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday we had our registration, and we got so much stuff. Like I got awesome stuff from Mercury, Nitro, the White River Marine Group, like everyone, Strike King, everyone gave you so much stuff. I had like 2 full bags. It filled an entire bed at the hotel, queen size
Holy
bed.
crap.
Stuff I got.
Jesus.
What was like the coolest thing that you got out of that?
I mean, I got sweet. I'm a big puffer jacket guy.
Oh,
Like I love the puffer
Whoa.
jackets.
Those ain't cheap.
no, they're not.
I have a Mercury Pro Team puffer jacket now, and that is
Damn.
up there.
Lucky.
I got a wooden cutout of Oklahoma, and it says 2024 Bassmaster Classic contender, and it has my name on it.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
That is awesome.
Like so much stuff. Like all the companies in the industry really put out and just gave us a whole bunch of stuff. It was so cool.
That's sick.
And then, but so Tuesday night was pretty mellow because Wednesday was the last day of official practice.
Yeah.
So staying in Tulsa, I wake up at 4:30, drive all the way to the lake, fish 7 to 3. I would have had 16-ish pounds, which was my best day yet, in 7 to 3.
Yep.
So I'm like, all right, we're heading the right direction here. And after that is Night of Champions, which Night of Champions is the party of all parties. It's the AOI, so Kyle Welcher made a speech. The entire thing is open bar. It's free food, and you dress up, and it's kind of funny seeing a whole bunch of bass pros all dressed up for something, because typically, we're in either shorts and a jersey or a t-shirt or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And the night after that was media day.
Didn't someone wear a fur jacket?
Yeah,
That was
I think.
Matt Robertson. Yep.
Yeah.
He wore the fur jacket, and he rocks it.
It looked like he did.
So that was a lot of fun. I brought Lucarelli with me
Nice.
as my +1,
Oh,
But it was cool. You're in Night of Champions, and I talked to Mark Zona, Tommy Sanders,
that's sick.
like Robbie Floyd was sitting at. Ronnie Moore was at my table. Mike Such, all the guys that do Bass Live were at the table. It was so awesome. And then it ends. So Mercer comes on stage and he's like, it's 10 o'clock, and he goes, "You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here."
Yeah.
Everybody load the buses.
It's funny, like, so you brought up Zona. Out of all like the professional fishing celebrities that are out there that I thought about, like, that I would love to have on the show, Zona's my number one. I would kill to be able to just have it. Fuck even having him on the show, man. I would just love to have a conversation with that dude. He just seems like really cool.
He is really cool.
Yeah. And then the other half of it was I was watching the weigh-in day 1 and 2. I missed your weigh-in on day 1, but I was able to see it for day 2. But then, like, also thinking back to all the other weigh-ins I saw for you so far this season, and every time Mercer talks to you, it sounds like he's already known you for years.
Well, we became, I would say we became friends this week.
Nice, good. What did it have anything to do with after hours at the bar?
100%. No, he's a wicked good guy, and the Dave Mercer you see on TV is the same exact Dave Mercer you get off of TV.
Nice.
He is the same person. He is high strung the entire time. He's just a lot of fun. Wicked good guy to just talk to. Like, I was talking to him on his boat that he has, and and he's just a fisherman just like us.
Yep.
He's
Just a dude.
He's just a guy.
Just a guy being a regular old dude.
Yep.
doing man things. Like guys do.
So
Boy stuff.
it was a lot of fun. But
Nice.
then, so after Night of Champions, we go to Media Day.
Yep.
So we have to drive to the Bass Pro Shops at Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
How'd it break?
What is that? The one line.
I had to do it. Sorry.
That's worse than any of the dad jokes I've told you.
What happened to it?
Oh, you guys should have heard the Progressive guys. Those are some bad jokes. Dad jokes. Oh yeah, they're bad.
Anyway.
Anyway, go to Broken Arrow. Go to Media Day. A whole bunch of reporters just walking around and asking you a whole bunch of questions and surveys, and take a poll and stuff like that. And then they fed us lunch. Then went back out for a couple more hours, and then at 3:00 you're free to go. So I run right back to the hotel. I pack up my whole room, and I head back out to the lake to the house that all my buddies rented. So I think Mark Fournier orchestrated this whole thing.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying he didn't, but he brought beers to the shop.
And so I get out there, and I'm already all retied because I did that during Media Day. And so the only thing I have to do is wake up in the morning and drive 12 minutes to the ramp instead of an hour and 45.
Nice.
So I see all my buddies, and there's a very intense shuffleboard game going on in the garage when I show up. But it was right on the lake. It was right up in the Elk Creek. It was awesome to see everybody, and I was like, all right, my bedtime's 9:00. I'm going to bed at 9.
What time do you actually go to sleep?
2 a.m.
Well, I stopped drinking at 3. No, I actually went to bed at 9. Then I realized that's way too early because every day of pre-practice, you get off the water at 8:00, 7:30, 8:00. Then you eat dinner, and then you retie, and you're going to bed at 11.
Oh.
So I was not in the sleeping mood, so to speak, at 9:00. I was not ready to go to bed. So I went back upstairs and hung out with everybody for another 45 minutes, and I shut it down. And woke up in the morning. Birchall was up right away. He goes, I'm ready. I don't think he took his caddy pass off the entire week.
That's awesome.
It was on the entire week. And they dumped me in. And it was raining and like 45 degrees, and there was thousands of people lining the banks of Grand Lake.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty nasty.
It was awesome. And yeah, he dumps me in. I get my marshal for the day. I'll let my marshal know that, hey, the boys at the house are renting a pontoon boat, and they'll be here about 9:30, 10:00, just so you know. And blasted off the first Bassmaster Classic. Right before I blasted off, Mercer interviews me on the mic. Like, it was just so cool.
That's awesome.
The whole thing was just like, wow, this is unbelievable.
Well, we're all happy for you.
Damn right.
I appreciate that. Like, I'm not mad with whatever I finished. I think it was 36th or 37th. I haven't looked, but I'm not mad.
No, I mean,
dude, you fished the Bassmaster Classic.
Yeah.
I know.
There's nothing to be upset about.
I know.
I feel like I'd be the same way. Like, as much as I want to be able to go there and like at least be competitive, just I at the end of it, I'd be like, fuck, dude, I was at the Classic. I don't even care. My first one. It's like a gimme. I could have zeroed. I made it to the Classic.
There's only a handful of people that can say that they went and fished the Bassmaster Classic, and you are one of them.
Yeah.
Even if you zeroed, you get a $10,000 check.
Right?
Wait, you're rich?
Yeah, I'm
Just for that day.
I'm a professional bass fisherman. Sponsors are giving me hundreds of thousands of dollars every week. Good.
Lucky.
I
hundreds of
am
thousands of
very
pennies.
thankful for the sponsors that I do have, though. I will say that, and how much they've supported me, because I could not do that without them. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
But the perception that, the guys walking by the boatyard in Tulsa are like, hey, can I get $100? That's not real.
No.
No.
Nope.
So I blast off. I run 20 miles down the lake, pull up to a boathouse I got a bite on. And it was like the third flip, one eats it on a jig. Boat flip it. And I said something along the line of, this is one way to start a Bassmaster Classic. There might be more words added into that.
So we call those sentence enhancers in my house.
Sentence enhancers. There might have been some sentence enhancers in there.
It's what I say on the videos, but they're usually
Children watch.
son of a.
So yeah, something along the lines of, that's one way to start a Bassmaster Classic, and on the boat flip type deal. And I just kind of got in a groove after that, and it was like every 15, 20 minutes I would catch a good one. And next thing I know, I'm at 14 pounds. And my goal going into day one was to catch 5 keeper bass.
Yep.
That was my goal. And so I was over the moon. I was culling, and next thing I know, I see this Bennington pontoon boat with a 300 come rolling in. And from that point forward, it was a party on the lake, but it was awesome.
That's sick.
Yeah, there were, I might have failed a breathalyzer because I was within 100 feet of them, but it was awesome. It was awesome. Wouldn't want it any other way, but I got a great picture that they took. I'm fishing a boathouse, and my dad's on the boat, and someone took a picture of my dad smiling with a thumbs up, and I'm in the background of him in the first Bassmaster Classic I ever fished. And it's it's really cool.
That's awesome.
It's really neat. So that really wrapped up day one. I caught a couple on a crankbait, caught a couple on a jig, lost one that I would like to have back on a jig, but didn't do anything wrong. It just didn't come in.
Yep.
Because I watched the GoPro video of it, and I cracked him. And it
Like,
just
Like
happens,
hiya or like hiya.
you heard the eyelets on the rod go.
Ping.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So you had him.
He had a headache the rest of his day. But he didn't have a headache in the live well, which was the bad part.
Dude, that reminds me. I
Fish
rewatched
hospital.
When we were at Champlain 2 years ago, I was rewatching those videos the other day because I'm getting excited for us going back again in May. Mm-hmm. And remember that one fish, same deal, where I cracked that fish. And after pitching a jig in on the dock.
Oh, yeah.
And I had him for 3 seconds, and they just
Gone.
And I went back and rewatched that so many times. I'm like, how did I mess that up? That was such a beautiful hook set. And I dropped the hammer on him, and it just didn't matter. It's still gone.
Yep. Well, this was right as I was about to boat flip him, he opened his mouth and the jig went.
Yeah.
I was like, ah.
Yeah, you gotta watch your hands when you do that. Remember when I did that? It came right up.
3/4 ounce football jig right off his knuckle. You can hear it in the video, dude.
It didn't feel great.
Yeah.
It's the greatest.
Funny to this dude.
It's great because it didn't happen to him. That's what makes it the best.
Yeah, and a 1/2 ounce jackhammer. That's sick too, right?
That is 3/8 ounce. Granted, I did the
once.
math. It was about 100 miles an hour to the head. That's my bad. I got a hell of a swing speed. In all fairness, you did get me back not too long after that. Only had half back. With that 3/4 ounce football jig, you cast and just skim the back of my head.
Yeah, I remember that. That was an accident.
So was mine.
I know. We're over it, okay?
On the Cincinnati.
Friendly general ribbing. Anyway, continue.
Anyway,
So that was day one. Ran back in, and the scale. My scale said 13.99. I weighed 14.5.
that's cool.
A little bit of juice in those scales. I'm okay with it.
Right.
And then I I'm like, all right. I finished in 25th place day one, which is the cut line.
Again.
Yeah. I wish I wasn't the bubble boy, but
Hey, someone's got to be.
we're still figuring it out. All right.
You'll figure it out.
Classic, don't want to come out all guns blazing right away.
We're trying to be modest in our
ease into
first
these
approach
guys.
of this, right? Yeah. Don't worry, guys. I haven't quite stepped on it yet. Relax. I'll be your bubble boy for the half.
Just get my
Running
feet
at
wet.
idle right now.
Just get my feet wet. That's all.
Right. I only do this out of respect for all of you.
You guys have been here longer. You deserve to win this, but
Can't be like that guy Fujita is out there just winning them all right out of the gate. I mean, come on, it's rude.
if you come out guns swinging, then all eyes are on you the rest of the year. Might as well just end with a good year. Don't.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's not how you start; it's how you finish. So I'm going with a strong finish this year. All right. And so day 2 rolls around. I retie the 3 rods I used, 2 crankbaits and a jig. Really tough. It was awesome. And big line on all of them. Like it was Grand is fun to fish because, granted, Hamner won throwing a jerkbait over brush piles, but I bet you behind him, everyone else was fishing behind docks and stuff like that. How I was fishing, and I just didn't get a big bite. And day 2, I went out and it was just everything was a 2.5 pounder.
Yep.
Pretty much, and 2 pounder, 2 pounder, 2 pounder, 2 pounder. And I catch a 3, and I catch another 3, and then 1 pounder, and that's all it was. I just didn't get a big bite. I fished clean, and I knew I wasn't going to make it idling in, and nothing could take the smile off of my face. Like,
Good.
I didn't even care. I was like, I caught a 5 bass limit 2 days in a row in the Bassmaster Classic. Like, nothing's bothering me.
And it shouldn't.
oh yeah,
There's only so much you can ask of yourself and that you should put on yourself. But you're taking away the greatest lesson out of all of that. The fact that you recognize you're fishing the fucking classic. Like, you know, do you want to go out and crack them? Yeah, but it doesn't always go that way. Only one person that gets to win, and that it's not easy at any level, and especially at that level. The fact you went out there and you got to swing on them, you fished clean, you got a limit every day, you had a fucking great finish in a lake that you fished collectively, 9 days?
9 days, yeah, 9 days.
And what is it, like 60-something thousand acres?
It's big. I don't know how big it is, but it's big.
Bigger than Winnie?
It's way longer than Winnie. So now, like, Winnie has a lot of unfishable water.
Yeah.
It's all fishable.
Because Winnie is like 46,000 acres, I think, for total surface acreage, but
44.
maybe 40. Okay, I know it's low to mid 40s, and of that, I have no idea. I think I've only fished Winnie like 20 times so far in my life, but maybe a third of it is like really good fishable water.
Yeah.
Regardless, even putting it that way, even you said a quarter, you're still talking about 12,000 acres you're going to break down in how many total practice days do you think you did? 6?
Yeah, 7 probably total between pre-practice and then official pre-practice and then official practice. It's all weird.
Dude, that's a lot of water to break down. The fact that you went out there and you caught a limit both days and they were good limits, you should be fucking going away with a smile on your face at the end of that.
Absolutely. I will say one thing about the weigh-in. So you pull into the boatyard, and because I have a Toyota, I don't need to unhook. I can pull my truck through. If you don't own a Toyota, they hook up a Toyota to pull you through the weigh-in.
Oh, okay.
And you pull behind the BOK Center, and this is like a huge arena. And a whole bunch of like junior fishermen or high school kids all come out and they'll wipe your whole boat down.
Nice.
And then you sign about 25 autographs, which is still new to me, but I love it. I think it's awesome. And then you pull into the center itself, and there's like 2 boats in front of you. And then you see the curtain open, the smoke, a whole stadium full of people cheer as the guy in front of you goes, and then the curtain closes again.
Yeah.
You're like, man, it's gonna be wild. And on the way to Tulsa, Mercer said, have an idea of what you should say on stage. Nobody wants to hear that, man, this motor ran great because of my Progressive insurance type deal or something like that. Like, don't go full sponsor plug on stage, and you should have an idea of what you want to say. Well, I thought about what I was going to say for about 3 minutes, and I said, nah, I'm just going to wing it.
Yep. That's the best way to do it. Don't overthink it.
Whatever comes is coming, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say something.
Yep.
So, when the curtain opens and they call your name and you have a spotlight on your face from the ceiling and you just like give a couple waves and next thing you know, you're on the stage and I don't remember a single thing I said on stage.
I bet.
I remember the curtain opening and me walking off stage both days. That's all I remember.
Dude, it must feel like fever dreamish, because it's got such a bad rap when I use this word, but there's like so much stimulus and stimuli happening in a completely different setting that you've never been part of. It doesn't get any bigger than that. So I can imagine it. Like, I feel like I'll be walking through that, looking at myself from 5 feet behind, like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening here?
Yeah, it's nuts. It's absolutely insane. And the only bad thing about fishing your first Bassmaster Classic is the only thing you want to do after that is fish another Bassmaster Classic.
Oh, I believe it.
So I got my work cut out for me the rest of the year.
Yep. So out of the whole thing, what was the biggest highlight? I don't know, for something unique, like something I want, not for me necessarily, but for everybody else that's watching and listening in on this too, for them to be able to hear about like things that you wouldn't normally hear about. Like if your only exposure to this is watching whatever bass there was up on TV, there's only so much you get to see and hear about it. And again, unless you're fortunate enough to know an elite angler. Yeah. So what was some of the highlights that happened during the whole week at this? If you haven't already talked about it yet, like kind of behind the scenes stuff, you know what I mean? Like some of the positives that nobody would know if all they saw was whatever we saw on TV.
I mean, it's gonna sound bad, but the hotel bar, was a straight networking event.
No shit. Okay.
There was all sorts of people there. There was pretty much the entire field was at the bar every night at some point.
Gotcha.
And
I'm assuming
cool just hanging out with people that you wouldn't typically normally hang out with.
Yep.
And you get on the elevator, and on the elevator when the doors close, on that side it's like Bassmaster Classic, and it has all these action shots on the inside of every elevator.
Okay, that's awesome.
Super cool. And pretty much in a big city like Tulsa, every single person knew you were there for the Bassmaster Classic. And you're famous. They really rolled out the red carpet.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So, for the last 3 years, Andrew and I have talked about fishing, getting back into a regular tournament trail. And every year come spring, we sit there, we look at the schedules, and we're like, yeah, let's do this. And the last 2 years, it was New Hampshire Bass Nation. We're like, we should just do it. We should just do it. And then in the last minute, we always talk ourselves out. We're like, yeah, we could do it, but we're having a lot of fun traveling. Let's just keep doing that. Yeah. And I really wanted to fish the STQT the last 2 years, but I couldn't because being a high school coach, it always happened that same week as the STQT. And then last year, we had planned a vacation to Florida a year in advance, and it was the same week as the STQT, so I still couldn't make it. There's nothing in the way this year, so I was like, okay. And the fact that seeing how you went through that just to see a local guy do it. I was like, God damn, man. Like, now for just seeing you go through this and make it at the highest level and going through it, it's like lit that fire a little bit hotter under my ass to really get there and stick to the plan this year. So like before my wife and I made any plans, I was like, the moment everybody released all their schedules, I was like, okay, I'm doing these tournaments, and STQT is number one on my list.
Yeah.
And I got 2 BFLs I'm going to do. There's an ABA top 150. The hell else do I have on there?
A whole bunch.
I'm looking at them. Oh, there's a Bass Nation on Newfound, but we haven't done that in ages, so we're going to fish that just for shits and giggles.
Oh, I haven't done that one in a long time.
I didn't even know what the STQT was going to be. I just knew, like, roughly when it was going to be. I told my wife, like, we're not playing anything until I know what this is. And now, especially knowing it's on Champlain, I'm like, okay. It's on my favorite end of Champlain, too. So I'm feeling good about it. But I'm just excited to, like, get back to it, and then especially, again, like, getting to see how you made it up through that. I don't know. It's just, like I said, it's lit an extra hot fire under my ass to get back out there and start competing on a regular basis.
Smell
again.
it.
And you're not the first person that said that. Like, man, seeing all this has really lit a fire to like try and get here.
Yeah,
I've heard that multiple times last week.
I bet.
Because it's, like I said, there is absolutely nothing like it.
We've all got that same dream, and now I'm finally at a point where I have a boat that I can rely on to get me in and out of those tournaments. I have the money, I have the time, and my family is now grown up enough that I can also afford to be away from the house for a long, extended period of time for something like this. STQT, I'll go out there and I'll pre-fish a lot right up to the cutoff point. And actually, I'm kind of fortunate because there's another tournament I'm looking at that's the weekend before. So I could go out and pre-fish the hell for that tournament, fish the tournament, and then I'm off the tournament ends on Sunday anyway. That's a cutoff point. No, just not sure what I'll do for the rest of the week, but like everything's lined up for me to at least go and give that a shot and just see what I can do.
Yep.
I love competing. Every time we go into a tournament, we talk ourselves out of doing the trail, but every time we go into a tournament, we're like, oh, this is fucking awesome.
This is so much fun.
We do it every tournament, like the 3 or 4 that we do a year.
Yeah.
I can only imagine, like, because even on the small tournaments to get hyped for, I couldn't even imagine on the scale that you're fishing at. Like,
I'd be catch bass at Toledo Bend for 6 hours. That was my hype. And I will say I'm super thankful that there were 2 Elite Series prior to the Classic, because I could not imagine.
If that was your first event, oh my goodness, just pee yourself on stage.
Yeah, like on stage before we even took off. Like my boat's not starting. Like, Tim, it's in gear. Oh,
good call.
Oh yeah, you're right. Click. All right, now we're good.
It's still not starting. Now your kill switch.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Woo, hammer down. He's doing about 5 miles an hour, sir.
This is an idle. This is an idle only zone. Sorry.
Straight up Ricky Bobby style. What was that? Was that the other boats?
Help me, Kelly Clarkson.
Tim, how'd your tournament go today? It went real good.
It went real good.
Man, real nice.
I want to do my hands.
The boat went real nice, real quick.
Jig got it done on the rocks out there, and same little crankbait.
Yeah.
God, we're dumb.
We're just a couple of guys being dudes.
Couple of dudes being boys. Ferda.
Oh man.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
I miss you.
Yeah, when you coming back?
Like June.
Oh, it's gonna be
Good. I'll see you before you leave. Before I leave.
So
I might fly back for a Winnie Spring tournament. Who knows?
Ooh, you thinking about that double down on April 28th? Oh, he is. Of course he is.
I don't know if the logistics are gonna work out, but it'd be really cool.
That would be cool if you can make it back up.
I don't know if it's gonna happen, but it might.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Just do me a
comment.
favor. You're probably going to be busy June 30th. You don't want to be on Newfound that day, okay?
Yeah, yeah. No, I think I will. I think I'll be at Smith or Wheeler, one of the two, June 30th. So you're good.
Good. No.
You
fuck that.
you can have that lake anyway.
Dude, you know what? Like for a lake that I cut my teeth on to learn how to smallmouth fish up in the great, like the glacial lakes. I love that lake, and I felt like I got to a point where I could go toe to toe with most anybody on that most of the time.
Yeah.
And then we went out there like 3 consecutive trips, and we caught nothing but rock bass. And I was like, oh, okay, time to travel. And we
haven't been back since.
Was that 4 years ago now? I think we fished it once in the last 4 years. But spending more time traveling, a lot more time on Champlain, other areas in Vermont, Connecticut. So
Better fisheries.
even if it isn't better, like that's half the fun of
Now
doing
they're
this. Is I know that they are better, but well, let me finish my thought, and then I can because it was segueing into that.
Okay.
It's the travel, man. I live for traveling and going to new bodies of water. Because yeah, it's nice if you can go out and figure out a singular body of water, and figure it out from ice out to ice in. But I don't know, for me, like the real true test is being able to go to any body of water any time of the year completely blind. If you can kind of crack them, then like you've shown that you can adapt to any conditions. So like that's what I'm addicted to, and that's why I just like keep traveling and trying new places. And we haven't yet been to a bad place in Vermont, I tell you. Doesn't matter where we go.
Holy crap, dude. Look at that fiberglass I just took out of my hand.
What the
That's what you get for working.
Are you a professional boat installer?
I got fiberglass coming out of my hand, so
So no.
so not even close.
No.
Not even a little bit.
Oh, man.
Oh man. Well, yeah, dude. No, there was something else I wanted to ask, and I totally forgot because I.
So what are you doing tonight?
We got Joe did a little meal prep. We're doing sausage, peppers, and onions, Italian sausages.
Oh,
Ooh, followed by a little footsie action on the couch and watching The Notebook.
can you make me one?
Maybe not The Notebook. Maybe I don't know. A bunch of YouTube series we like to watch. The Cut Line, Drew and Drew. Those are good ones. Like Paul Nix.
Onyx are always good.
Do you know how many times I've rewatched his Champlain video when the first year he came back to the elites, and
when he missed that giant in the gut?
Yes, on the glide and the water was down like 3.5 feet. Yeah, dude, I've watched that video probably like 50 or 60 times now.
I broke off my Depths 250 in that exact same spot.
That was the funniest thing.
Still
Dude,
there?
nope, we got it back. I shit you not. Like, what we're talking about, all the cinder blocks.
Oh,
like, yeah. Dude, it was like a smallmouth jump cast, height over distance, which that was a Polnick reference. We talk about Vandy Hammer's casts. But, dude, he broke it off at the worst point and went straight up and came down and landed like 6 inches away from the edge of falling off of that cinder block.
And I broke it.
But you got it back.
I got it back, but now it's a deep dive 250. I just got to fish it for like 20 minutes to let it fill up, and then it's a deep dive 250.
Perfect.
Gets down to 20-something feet, no problem.
Perfect. That's what you want. You'll probably catch a giant lake trout on it.
Yeah, actually, you probably would. There was a girl up here. Where the hell was she? She's somewhere in New England. And she went out doing that. She went out with a glide, and she bombed the thing out, and she let it get down to like 70 feet, I think she said. And then she was working it back as much as she could from that depth, and she stuck a fucking tank laker doing it.
I'm going to try that.
I mean, I believe it.
No reason why it won't work.
I'm going
Especially
to try
depths,
that.
like, wwwhy wouldn't it work?
I already know what bait I'm going to add weight to.
I feel like I don't want to say it. We'll cover it another day.
On our lake trout special.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, shit. All right, man. Well, was there anything else you wanted to cover from, like, I mean, you literally covered it from the very beginning of this whole process, from when you could officially get out there all the way to the end.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. It was so cool, but now it's like
No.
In the words of Bill Belichick, we're on the Cincinnati.
Yep.
And I leave for Lake Murray on Friday to go do 7 days of pre-practice on Lake Murray.
Nice.
And then I leave Lake Murray and I go to Harris Chain. And then I go to St. John's after that.
Skip right over Harris Chain.
You're gonna like it.
It'll
I've
go
been
better.
For 5 days.
Yeah, well, you got another more to go.
And there's 3 more of official practice, and then hopefully 4 days of tournament.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's better for you this time.
Well, I hit it at the worst time last time, so I'm going positive thinking. So
Should be a lot better.
I'm not worried. I'm either going to catch them or I'm not. It's really simple.
Yeah, but you're just
Yeah.
gonna. Yeah, but you're gonna catch them. So
There we go.
there you go.
You always do.
There's the answer.
A bass is a bass.
Yeah,
They got to eat.
I was
Damn
gonna
right.
say something, but I cannot say that.
Demonetized.
No, do you guys have any questions? Like, anyone watching have any
How old are
questions?
you?
What we got? What?
There was a couple of questions that I saw, and Chris couldn't be here. Chris and my buddy in the back end there for everybody in the chat is the one that tries to snag comments, but he had to jump out of this early. I did see Gordy asked, "Are you going to be fishing any of the opens this year?"
No. Way
don't
too
need
busy.
to.
Way too busy. I will be fishing a Toyota on Lake Ontario, which is, or the St. Lawrence River out of Messina, which is,
Oh,
so the Elite Series ends on Sunday, and that tournament starts on Wednesday. So I'm going to fish that one.
Cool.
oh, yeah, you may as well. We're already up there.
Already up there. Might as well hang out for 7 more days, you know.
I thought about doing the ABA Top 150 has an event out there, but it's out of Clayton. I was like, that could be fun to add to the list. Because I did look at the BFL, but it's out of not Waddington. Is Messina the one that's further up?
Yeah, Messina's like basically at the dam.
Okay, yeah, that's where it is. And I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. Because
Yeah,
the furthest down the river I've been is Chippewa Bay. So it's like another 80 miles of river I know nothing about. And I'm not
That's
going to
fine.
run
You
my
can
boat.
run it right up the middle. Right up the
Yeah.
top. Nothing to hit.
Although, there is a speed limit in the American Narrows.
Why do they call it Thousand Islands?
Because there's almost 1,000 islands.
Yeah,
Oh,
right up the middle.
They're a big fan of the salad dressing.
Oh boy.
No, but if you do go up there, I know all the best restaurants up there. I'll tell you that.
Did we go to any restaurants when we were up there?
No, because we had an Airbnb. So we just went back and cooked.
Smash patties.
Smash patties.
Those are good.
It's really hard to beat a good smash patty.
Yeah, Brasky.
He makes them really good.
I do. Anyway, Sprasky. SEUT is awesome. Making the team ahead to the regional events is fun. Making it to the national event is even more amazing, and the format has changed, but I sure miss it. That's the thing, like,
We miss you, Sprasky. We miss you.
dude, him and the two Justins, him and Woodell, were crushing him on the river right after ice out this year. I don't know if you saw their post on Facebook, but
You don't fish the river against the Justins. I learned that about 5 years ago.
we've been out there quite a few times and ran into them while we're just out fun fishing. And it's always like towards the end of the winter and like, hey man, we're gonna pick up tournament this weekend. You want to come? Nope.
Yeah, 8 fish. You're gonna need like 32 pounds of catch and check. Nothing crazy.
Right? I was like, Justin,
Jesus.
I could just give you the buy-in right now, and I'd still come out ahead because then I wouldn't have to spend the gas to get here and back.
Yep.
Just
Here, take my money.
although Jody went
Here's
up
my
there,
entry.
Jody went up there and took some of their lunch money. I think twice this winter.
He did.
He did at least once. What is? Oh, Carl asked Tim, are you prepared to use side imaging more, considering the changes coming to the elites in 2025?
Well,
What
I don't know
changes?
what. I have not heard any changes that are coming to 2025.
I didn't hear anything.
I mean, I grew up fishing without live scope. I'm not scared to not use it. I barely used it this week. Finished 36th or 37th, whatever. But if you know what changes there are, I would love to hear about it because I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I would like to as well because I don't think any changes are coming yet. I can't foresee any changes coming for a million reasons. Andrew asks, what event you're looking forward to the most? It's got to be Champlain.
Well, I feel like Champlain and Ontario are gimmies. You know, I've spent so much time out there. Outside of those two, I'm looking forward to Murray because they are giant largemouth there.
Mm-hmm.
Murray's gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm. Definitely Murray, and I'm really excited to get there on Friday.
Yeah, I bet. Justin said, "Stop it" once, but he still took your lunch money. That's okay. He took our lunch money the last 3 years in a row. Oh, you know, it was 2 years. It was Keith the year before that. This year it was
Keith,
Jody.
yeah,
the year before was Jody and Alec. And then the year before that was Keith.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. It's all 3 years. Someone almost had 30 pounds on
It was
one day.
28 and 29 and then 28.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. All smallmouth.
No, it was all largemouth. Although last year, well, not this last one, the one before, they had a 6.3 pound smallie in their bag, which was, yeah,
it was good.
it was huge. We come to the weigh-in, and this was the first time I ever met Jody and Alec. And someone, I forget who, they're like, dude, those guys caught a 6.3 smallie. And I'm like, no fucking way. And I walk over, I was like, oh, goddamn.
I looked around
It's
the thing, and I was like, dude, look at the size of that fish. We lost.
And then they flipped the format, and we were in second. I caught Lunker on day one. We're like, okay, we're only like a pound away from Jody. Maybe we got a chance. And day two, we got like 20.5 pounds. We're like, maybe we did it, man. Maybe we did it.
We're feeling good.
Maybe second, but maybe first. And then Jody comes by. We're just like, how you doing? He's like, I'm about 29. We're like, second it is.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Son of a bitch.
That's when, you know, Will and I do this when we have bad days. We pull up to each other, and Will Davis, and we suck again.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, we suck again.
Oh, Jesus.
Hopefully we don't say that to each other too many more times this year, but
Yeah.
we're going to get after it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I'll tell you what. It's getting late anyway over here. I want to try and keep this to about an hour to be respectful of your time. So
All right.
thank you for coming on. Before you go, give a shout out, obviously, for yourself and anybody else you want to. Tell everybody where to follow you, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, it's Tim Dube Fishing on Facebook and Instagram. Go ahead and give me a follow. I'm going to do a whole bunch of sponsor videos on there coming up. I've already put out a couple. And these are companies that I was not sponsored 5 months ago. I did not have a single bass fishing sponsorship. And so if you have the opportunity to support them, because they are supporting me as a non-sponsored fisherman, again, 5 months ago, that would be awesome, and I'd really appreciate it. And I have some really awesome stuff on my boat, and I'm going to be showcasing it here shortly.
Hey.
Damn right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So, well, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you having me on, and we'll do a recap after the Florida swing because those are back-to-back weeks, so probably not that week, but the week after. And we can do a Florida recap, and I can tell Andrew why he's making a horrible decision on moving to Florida.
I don't believe you.
You need. I just remembered.
I have a smallmouth.
I know. Now we need to get a tear tattooed on his eye because you're never see him.
I'm coming back up once in a while. God.
I'll be in
It's like I'm going down there to die.
So, all right. Well, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on. Thanks everyone for commenting. It was a blast.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, man. Greatly appreciate you coming on as always. And it is nice that we can do this kind of recurring thing and follow you along as you go through the series. So
yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. We'll touch base again after your 2 week swing in Florida. But until then, Andrew, do your thing. I forgot your stack of papers again.
We will see you guys next week, as always, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time at youtube.com/@Reel Nothern Bass. We will see you. Did I do a good job?
You did.
Nailed it. Bye, Timmy.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.